Comedy Film Nerds Podcast.
All right, coming out on DVD.
Okay, The Boss Baby.
Watched that with my kids the other night.
No,
You
I
liked
gotta
it?
ask you. This is one of the movies that even my kids were like, nah, I don't know. if we
Parts
need
of
to
it
see
were
that."
like kind of, parts of it were kind of, I don't know. It was not Inside Out. I mean, I think it's so hard to make that great animated,
Right.
but then sometimes I fall in a different line than my kids. Like my kids love Trolls more than anything. And I would say
Right.
the animation in Trolls, the sort of scrapbook element animation was remarkable and beautiful to
Well,
watch.
this is where we get into the difference between a family movie and a kids movie.
Right.
Trolls was a kids movie.
Right.
The adults suffer through it instead of enjoying it with the kids.
Right.
Whereas Inside Out or Up or a lot of the Pixar movies are made for everyone.
Well, because they spend like 4 years on the story.
Right,
And
yeah.
then they work through it because they're...
A good kind of litmus test is: are there people without kids going to see this animated film?
So that's a great litmus test. However, you almost don't need it because the truth of the matter is it's almost like Pixar, if you're to put it in a sports analogy, like a catcher who is practicing throwing down to second base. The good ones will practice throwing into center field because if you can throw the ball from the catcher, from behind home plate all the way to the center fielder, that means when someone's stealing second base, you can just do it right there. It means you have to go the extra mile to make a movie that adults who are taking their kids to go see. You got to throw it into center field,
Right.
which is what those movies do. But truthfully, you don't have to because if you're 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old
You get the
kid,
parent ticket anyway.
you get the parent. It's the most
Right.
genius thing ever.
Yes.
So the 2 kids who want to go equal, and then you add 1 or 2 other people who are going to go.
Right.
That's why they always make so much money.
Because you're always getting an extra couple of
Yep.
tickets.
That's
yeah,
right.
we always talk about that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
economics of a
It's
kids
genius
movie.
why those things are so
It's
unbelievable.
never one ticket. It's usually 4.
My kids liked Boss Baby because, I mean, it felt like a little bit of like a late night infomercial in that, they tell you all these problems like, you have all these problems with your gutters. And I'm like, yeah, I guess there are problems with my gutters. And then I say, everything feels like it's a manufactured, like someone is just dying because all their Tupperware is falling all around them. I'm like, yeah, I think I have
Right.
too much Tupperware, but is it a problem?
Right.
So I felt like it was a very much a manufactured problem that they then had to, puppies. And
Garden hose
Well,
murdering you?
what did your kids think of the next movie on the list, Ghost in the Shell?
The Scarlett Johansson whitewash film?
They did not see that one.
Yeah.
They did not see Ghost in the Shell.
Did
Should
anyone?
they? Should they have?
No, I don't think anyone should.
I mean, I love Scarlett Johansson.
So-
I flat out love her.
I
think
don't know
she's-
why she keeps doing these types of movies.
Because she probably needs money. I mean, to me, I think
Right.
Scarlett Johansson is. This is how good of an actor Scarlett Johansson is. I felt her presence so deeply in the movie Her, and I never saw her face.
Right.
And I'm like, that is a very difficult thing to do. And that movie, I love that movie. And I'll say that movie more than any movie, I think about a lot of times when I just see like how technology is advancing and I think to myself, that is a movie. That and Idiocracy, and they're both movies about the future, but obviously with what's going on currently with our government and whatnot,
Satires become real.
well, I just, in my brain, I think about those. That's when I think a movie has really done its work. Is
If
when
you think about it afterwards, for sure.
and even
Yeah.
like months or a
Right.
year afterwards, something gets you to
Yeah,
think about
Ghost
it.
in the Shell is this weird thing where it's like, well, fans of the anime aren't going to go see it because you put Scarlett Johansson in it, and also the anime is much better. Like what they tried to do is make live-action versions of all the anime characters, which never works because then everybody looks weird because they're drawn to be anime characters. And then you have people who aren't familiar with it just looking at it and going, "What is this? Why would I want? Is this Blade Runner?"
Yeah.
So,
that's
so,
true. Which I
so
can't wait to see,
it
by
did
the way.
not. It did not do well.
Right.
And,
no,
and
it was a
also-
$110 million budget. And it did maybe 40 over.
And it was
since
all.
then.
It was just one of those head scratchers of like, why would you make this movie?
What's
So-
Gifted?
No,
Gifted. I wanted to see that. This was a short, a limited release. It was Chris Evans, and this adorable little girl. She's a gifted kid, and he has to take care of her. And he's trying to. It looked like an interesting film. It looked like something that
How to do?
it didn't do well.
Right.
Oh no, actually, it's made $25 million.
What was the budget?
The budget was $7 million.
That is a great.
Yeah, then it did well.
That's a quiet success.
Yes.
Like every studio will say that no one will jump up and down because it wasn't like the $5 million movie that's $100 million. but they will say this means we get to keep the level of Christmas party we had last year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a movie that I missed, but I definitely want to see it. It's out on DVD.
I'll get it for you as a gift.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So, and on the site Spotlight, we were actually talking about. We already actually discussed. I want to talk about CJ's Dunkirk review. Also, CJ has a review of War for the Planet of the Apes as
nice.
well, where
Cool.
he and I had the exact same reaction as far as like the apocalypse now, the way they used it.
Ride shot first. With kitten heads across the land. They're waiting for the show.